Okay, green box is up, live counter is sticking up, going to assume that means we are live, or very shortly will be, and that of course means welcome back to the Storytime Network. It is D&D Day, and we're about to do some hard time.
Doing time and the living's easy.
Yes,
Good.
I am mentally 12. No, I will not apologize.
Oh, you were laughing at hard. I was wondering why you were
Excuse
laughing
me.
like that.
Yes, I was laughing at hard.
Drop the soap.
No, we're not going to make any prisoners. That is beneath us. That is definitely beneath us.
I already made that dumb joke, so it's fine.
You know what else is beneath us? Aldane's prison bitch.
Man, shut
Anyway.
the fuck up, please.
If we could move away from the rape jokes.
Yes, please. That'd be greatly appreciated.
Hey, for all you know, it's an entirely consensual relationship.
Anyway,
Anyways. We're moving on.
Cardo, if you want to, get us going,
yes.
that would be very
So-
appreciated at this point.
So, last we left our heroes with Daron, the Genasi Rogue, Felix, the Eladrin Painter, and Seamus and Aldane, the two half-elves. The four of you got some recuperation back in Tennoyama, and did some very interesting things, such as Seamus basically changing the very history of the country with his decisions with what the Akahane clan should do
In other words, fuck off.
and what should be done with their territory. Hanakoma got bitched, slapped, and beaten up by several people. And yeah, that was a grand old time. Meanwhile, while country deciding politics was being dealt with, Felix and Daron got to go to Raphael de Grey's studio and got to have a chat with him, and you actually saw Xavier picking up a portrait of his wife, who has long since passed. And yeah, that was alright. After that was done, you eventually got taken back by Oryx to Centralis, and then you got to enjoy 3 weeks of downtime. Seamus schmoozed with people and lost a lot of his money. Daron engaged in some self-care.
I did. It was
Aldane-
great.
Aldane went to the arena, and fought some people.
Mm-hmm.
And Felix did some mahjong. Yeah, you all had a grand old time. But alas, Kuro informed you that Toranosuke's execution date was moved closer, and thus you have to make a race against time to basically bust him out. With the solution being is that with there being a group of people traffickers going on, Kuro has placed the blame on you guys, so that the people traffickers, in theory, being annoyed that their work is basically being laughed at, and they're not the ones being given credit for it, should draw them out of hiding. So yeah. With that being said, so as we jump in, the idea is that basically, pretty much the next day or so, guards basically busted into your homes to pretty much arrest you guys. Tellingly though, for each of you, you did see some of Kurogane's people there, as if to reassure you. But yes, so you've been dragged in, you've immediately been charged with all of the evidence that points you to who you are,
Can I just can it
Sorry, go ahead.
as like a flavor thing? Can Dyer just look very bored during the whole thing?
Yeah.
As a flavor thing, now didn't just be super melodramatic about being arrested while he's being arrested.
I mean, you'd basically be seeing like Zaros and Oriana and your neighbors, like, and your mum as well and sister, like, seeing you being taken away, and none of them are in on it. Like, you know, for you, Dayron, you see some of your fellow, the people you've gotten to know sort of in your neighbourhood, like, you know, saying, oh, it was only a matter of time, someone around here got busted for something.
Yeah, Dyer's just like yawning, like slouched, doesn't really care.
And a couple of people are seeing Seamus and Felix being like, of course the foreigners would do something. Like, but yeah. So you've basically been, like, pretty much all of you get shoved into the carriage. And, like, you're taken away. And it's a long while before you eventually get brought to the prison. You don't... During the time that you get there, though, you don't really get allowed outside of the carriage. To do any of your private business, you basically get given a bucket. Like, it's not a nice it's not a nice time for you guys. But eventually, you get to the prison, and when you get there, when you actually get let out, before you actually are allowed to leave, you're given manacles that get put on your wrists. The moment you get these latched on, you immediately feel any magic energy inside of you just vanish. As if it's suppressing what you're, you know, what you can actually do.
Fancy.
And yeah, you get it latched on, and you are led out of the carriage. You come out and you do see, like, if you do actually see on the map, because the prison is again listed below, like right here, below, you know, Cordis, the label, you do see one somewhat large mountain. And as you were told, like, inside is basically cut out with which the prison is. Like, that's the prison. And yeah, you're led inside by soldiers and guards that you've never met before. Even the uniform for you, Aldane, you've never seen before. Like, it's the variant of the Cordis armor, but it's a bit more, what's the word? It's quite visibly different in, like, a very strange way. It's hard to really put a finger on it, like, but yeah. As you're led inside, as you get led to the mountain, you do see, like, a shack that looks like it's sort of built into the mountain, and you're led inside. The shack itself doesn't look very big. It looks more like a shed, really. But you get led inside, and you immediately see that it's bigger than the actual outside would lead you to believe.
Ooh, shack of holding.
And immediately you see a, like, guard just sat at a desk. And he just looks to the people who have been escorting you. And they just look and say, are these the people? And they just nod very stoically. And you see, Seamus, you see the guard gesture for you to come over. Do you do as he wants?
Dylan?
You
Dylan?
cut out for like half of that sentence. For me, at least. I think my connection's a little fucky.
Yeah,
let me reconnect to Discord real quick. It's
Okay.
Certainly, I heard everything.
While he's
all right.
So
say what the guy wanted me to do again.
So he gestured for you to come over, and he looked specifically at you.
Oh God, is this going to be a cavity search?
You don't know.
I go over there.
All right then, sir. Can we get your name, please? First of all.
Out of character, are we using our real names?
I mean, the guards... I mean, people know who you guys are.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Seamus Osaki.
Okay, that matches up with the file and the description we were given. A lot uglier than we were told, but it's fine.
Seamus
The thing
bit
is,
back the urge to use vicious mockery right there.
You can't.
Anyway, our magic's
Yeah.
suppressed. So, he looks up to you and just makes eye contact with you. From the rest of you can see, almost looks like he's like looking at Seamus as if he's some sort of thing. The gentleman in particular is actually a quite sturdy-looking dwarf, taller than the kind you've seen before, and he just like narrows down at Seamus and just like, okay, so, men, okay, you can do what you need to do. And you do see two soldiers, like two different ones, approach you. And they basically just like the receptionist, I guess you could say, just says, I hope you don't mind, but we're going to have to check your person for any objects and anything that you've had hidden on your body. I hope you can understand this.
Yeah,
Heavy
I
first
kind of
time.
figured this was coming.
If not, well, you shouldn't have done the crime you committed.
Just don't stick anything up my ass, please.
So you actually do see the two guards actually summon mage hands. They're personally not feeling you in, like they're not using their proper hands to examine you. One of them does that anyway. The other one actually waves this like... All of you see it's like this rod, but it's got like a gem that's sort of like... As it's sort of hovering over him, it starts to get brighter as it goes near the manacles. Presumably because they are magical.
Mm-hmm.
Because as it goes over the rest of his body, it's quite dim and quiet.
Like a metal detector.
Yes.
A magic detector.
And yeah, so that happens. And once the examination goes over, the guards just give a nod to the receptionist, and he just gestures, and you are escorted further in. Give me 1 second. Just need to sort something out.
So this is going to be fun.
Boy, oh boy.
Really
we
hope
in
we
for a
don't get
fun time.
into any bother before Aldane gets some armor on.
I should be able to fuck my way out of things. Hopefully.
Be real
Yeah, because your
awkward.
AC is like a 9 at the moment.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have to unequip the thing.
What's Darren's AC again at the moment?
Without armor, 15.
So Darren has the best AC of the group without armor.
Yes.
Yeah, when I heard Aldane had like a 9 AC without his armor, I had to giggle a little bit because even I have a higher AC than that without armor.
Remember that Aldan still has the most hit points of anyone in the party, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now you're just a squishy tank.
I'm still solid enough that I can take some damage.
Bro.
I'm not as concerned.
Yep. More like a sponge now than a brick wall, but still.
Mm.
I like to imagine Darren's just like very nonchalant
Hello.
about all this.
Sorry about that. I had to get dinner. So, give me 1 second. Right. So yeah. So once the guard's done, again, he gestures for you to be led further in, and the rest of you see as a door, like on the other side of the room, opens up, and all of you just see like a dark corridor. And Seamus, Oh, sorry, go for it.
I just said spooky.
Yes, indeed, that's the point. The receptionist just says as they gesture for you to come over this time, as Seamus actually gets led through, and you just watch as your friends have to see you off, Seamus.
Byron waves
Bye,
as they walk
Seamus.
up.
Don't get beat up.
Maybe I'll see you guys in there.
So when you're led inside, Seamus, some more guards appear and basically tell you that they need to they're going to put you into a room on your own where they'll be able to monitor you. And the idea is that once you're inside, the manacles will come off and you're expected to basically put on some clothes that they've provided.
Prison jumpsuit time.
You-ish. It's basically like a t-shirt and knee-length shorts. Like
Oh.
it's not even like full body cover.
Nice.
Oof.
When you go in though, the manacles don't break off, but they basically the midsection that would connect them basically comes off. But you still feel your magic is suppressed right now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go in, you basically see a big mirror. You can see yourself in the reflection with your handsome devilish features. But yeah, it's the walls as well are just flat, padded. There's nothing in there apart from yourself. So all that's left is to just strip down. And the only thing you see on the side is a small. The only thing you see on the side is a small folded clothes laid out for you.
Do I at least get to keep my shoes?
No.
What? I gotta
You
go
are-
barefoot
you
in
are-
this fucking place?
You are told there are no shoes for you.
That's annoying. So, Seamus proceeds to just get changed.
When you get changed, Dayram, the guards again run the magic detector over you. The mage hand examines your body. To be fair, what you saw with Seamus, there was genuinely nothing untoward being done. And you can clearly see that the guards are making an effort to, not go over the line.
Yeah, and Dyer says, look, if you want, I don't have any hidden daggers on me, but you're welcome to check.
We have to be sure, but again,
No worries, I understand.
but yeah, you get examined, you get checked, and they lead you off as well. And Felix and Aldane, you see your friend being sent away.
Darren winks as they get sent.
Bye,
Hey,
Darren.
you're
Have
winking.
fun.
You
Have
do
fun,
see
Darren.
you see one of the guards say, "Hey, no winking,
I blow them a kiss.
no blowing of kisses either."
And just walks through.
You get led into a room, you see a row of just doors that all look judging from the distance of each door, the rooms inside are probably not terribly big. But as you're ready to get led into one room, you do see Seamus being led out of another, dressed in this really drab, t-shirts and shorts combo, and he's even barefoot.
I can just imagine Dairon's first impression being like, oh, so not fashionable.
Hell, Jill. And very quickly, just changes, doesn't make a big deal of it.
So while that's going on, Felix, you're next. As you get called over.
Felix walks up. Hi.
So, sir, can you tell me your name?
Alexis Ferris.
That makes sense with what we see on here.
Can I request breakfast at 8, please?
It's not up to you when you get food, my friend.
That seems inhuman. What sort of
None of us
hotel
are
is this?
I mean, none of us are humans, are we?
Good point. Need to change my lingo.
I understand what you mean, though, do not worry.
Inhumanoid?
I'm not paid enough to care about language.
You're not? Maybe you should strike.
We did a few months ago, actually, but that's beside the point. Anyway, I hope you don't mind, but we're going to have to do examinations on you.
Eh.
And again, just like before, they check over your body, make sure there's nothing hidden. And yeah, just like that, you get led out. As you sort of get led out of the room, you do see Dairon coming out at this point, and Seamus has actually been asked. Like, Seamus is having to wait next to a guard who's, like, watching over him, and Darren has their own guard to watch over them.
Guys, we don't get a breakfast call. Can you believe this?
No, it's so bad. It's just so drab in here. Oh well, I want some breakfast. See you later.
Bye. And apparently the guy back there isn't getting paid enough?
Oh, that's a shame. They should really strike. Have you
He's-
guys formed a union?
He said they
We've had
did, but...
We've had one ever since the job was ever created for this place.
Well, you need to go to your rep. They're not doing a very good job.
The last
They need
king,
to.
the last king was very strict about having every job in every capacity have a union.
Good, I'm glad. Your union rep should try to get you guys some pay more or something.
Some days off as
No.
well.
We have 3 days off a week.
Oh, nice. That's not bad, actually.
Hmm.
Minimum half-hour breaks.
I'm assuming we're
Anyway.
covered by this as well. Otherwise, it'd be really
No,
unfair.
Just get fucking changed already. And they lead you into a room again. Small, padded walls, a one-way mirror from what you can... Well, I mean, you see a mirror, and you do see some clothes laid out for you to get changed. While that happens, Aldane, you are led up to the desk.
Morning.
It's a real shame to
How's
see
this
you
day?
here. Not too bad, but it's a shame to see someone like you if you're standing here.
Yeah, I know. It's just a real shit situation all around.
Zaris was very surprised when he told us in advance.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm sure this whole situation will be... what do I know?
He was thinking of letting you court his daughter, but that's never gonna happen now.
You know, courting his daughter, which is an open secret, by the way. Courting
I
his
will.
daughter, you're now in prison. It's not a great look for you, is it, mate?
At this point, I feel like the security of the prison is what's going to keep me alive from him.
You didn't put a baby in it by any chance, did you?
No, we've never gone past holding hands.
The
How
entire room
rude.
just burst in. The entire room just burst into laughter. And guys, on the other end, now that Felix has come out, you all just hear an uproarious laughter on the other side of the reception room.
I
Someone
bet
must
they're
have asked him
laughing
about him. Someone must have asked him about his and Oriana's progress.
Look, if I had gone any further, I would not have a head right now. You think you would do well with that sort of damn piece over you?
I don't care, I'm not the one courting her.
Then
Fair
again,
enough.
neither are you anymore. Haha!
But yeah, you... Because I was going to say, you wouldn't have been even allowed to change into your armor, you would have just had to wear, like, normal clothes. So, yeah,
Oh,
you get the...
Mother is going to be so mad about me losing this outfit.
Don't worry, all of your personal effects will be kept by us in our vault.
That's good.
Where the vault is, however, is another thing.
I can imagine it is kept in a secure location. You do seem like upstanding professionals. Laughter at my misfortune aside.
The receptionist just blinks and just, like, gestures for the guards to examine you, not even responding to you.
It's supposed to be an odd experience for that.
You get examined, doesn't take very long, and yeah, you get led out, and you see your party in very drab clothing.
You know, I am very glad my mother is not here to see me like this. She would be very upset about me wearing such unfashionable clothing.
I mean, she's probably more worried about you being accused of human trafficking. Or, well, not accused, charged of human trafficking.
Oh, absolutely.
I actually don't even mean human trafficking out of character, I mean people trafficking. It's just, again, like with the inhuman thing that Milton said.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get led into a completely different room from everyone else. All of you do know, you especially, Darren, because you were the first. Like, not you, Darren. Seamus, you noticed. Everyone else has been led into different rooms so far.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably like 4 more doors. So it looks like there's just 4 more rooms of this sort of thing. And yeah. Once you get changed, Aldane, out of your clothes, you're all led out. You're on the bare floor with your bare feet. All of your toes are exposed. And yeah, you get led further down. You get led down, each of you with a guard at your sides. You are allowed to finally, move your arms about, but you do feel your the magic inside of you is suppressed. But yeah, you get led through, and basically you come to what are very large, very large double, steel doors. And you see 2 guards stood at the doors, and they just give you a nod. Not you specifically, but the guards, sorry. And both of them pull out their own keys, twist in the door, and then start to turn the handles that are near the locks. And you just hear the loud sound of the doors just creaking and being pulled out. And yeah, you get led through.
Nice quality doors here.
They really are. I am glad that Rua and his family have done so well with the upkeep.
Nevertheless, you get led inside, and the doors, not long after you just get brought in, the guards that were escorting you, however, don't actually come through with you. But the doors are locked shut. And as you come through, you basically are led into what looks like a very large courtyard. There's several people of different races, ages, all roaming around the area, all in the same miserable clothes that you can see.
Hi, friends!
You just make eye
Hello.
contact. You just see a guy, Felix. You see a... Let me see what the race is of this gentleman. Because I do have a list of different prisoners. You see a gnome, probably the shortest gnome you've ever seen. Bald head, with a teardrop tattooed under his eye, and on the other side of his face is a very ghastly burn mark. And he just stares at you. Who are you supposed to be?
Flixus Ferris!
You just see him lean in, and there's you see a bugbear who's more than twice the height of this gnome. This gnome is only 3 feet. The bugbear is 6 foot at minimum. And you just see the bugbear slav squat near the gnome and just lean in to hear what the gnome has to whisper to his friend.
That's considerate of him.
Oh, we're doing I Am Groot and Rocket Raccoon, okay.
And you do see a couple more prisoners who start talking amongst each other, not really looking impressed with any of you. And yeah, you're just led out into the courtyard. In the courtyard, you do see a small area that has what's it called? A sport area of sorts. There's a small basketball court, and what looks like some weights you can do lifting with and stuff like that.
Ooh, recreation.
Otherwise, though, it's mostly just like a grassy field with like a couple of benches to sit at.
Ooh,
But the benches
sitting.
are out in the benches are out in the sun though, so in fact you actually see a lot of people like sat under the benches who can fit under to get out of the sun. On the other side of the doors, actually, where you just came through, you do actually see some guards. Both of them have weapons at the hips, and they both look quite formidable. You guys could probably take them in a fight pretty well, but you know, for the average person, they'd get the shit kicked out of them. And in
Makes
fact,
sense.
with your guys' lack of equipment, you'd get the shit kicked out of you probably.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do like a quick perception to see if I can find anyone of interest?
Yeah, all of you can if you want. There's too many people to like try and keep a lookout for. There's not really anyone. I mean, there's enough people sticking out to you that it's hard to really find anyone specifically to zone in on. Also, damn, that was a nat 4.
Love expertise, honestly.
That was a nat 10 from Felix.
I
Again,
only got one
uh,
better than Gen.
There's too many people. The only people that are really sticking out to you guys are like the burn gnome with the tear stain tattoo, and his like bugbear friend. You do see more people around them, but those two in particular seem to be like the most interest that you can immediately find. Aldane, Seamus, are you gonna perceive?
Sure, why not? Nope.
You don't see shit, my friend. Dylan, what about you?
When do we get the stuff that we were smuggling in?
You don't know.
Shit, I was gonna say I would practice on my flute, but I guess that's no good.
Well,
Oh,
are
you
you
can
going
still
to use a
practice on your
perception
flute.
check or not?
Haha.
No, I don't want to perceive.
Oh, okay then.
I'm kidding. Yeah, but I'm not gonna perceive.
Wow!
anything anyway.
You hear a bird, and you just find yourself staring at the sun and wishing you didn't look at the bird because it was like you can't even tell what bird it was. No, I'm joking. You don't see shit. The problem is there's too many eyes on you, and you know it's kind of overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Yep, first day on the yard.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Well,
Yeah, let's go
I
find
lean
the
over
biggest
to all
guy
day.
to go beat up.
I lean over to Aldane and go, scatter and compare notes later.
Sounds like a plan.
Do you all do that then? Do you scatter and look around?
I think Dyron just kind of tries to blend, like just goes nondescript and blends in.
Give me a stealth check with disadvantage.
25
Wow.
or 20.
With disadvantage.
So the thing is, you've never been in a prison before, right?
I've been in juvie, probably.
But you've not been in like this, like, you know,
Correct.
where people are getting executed because they're that bad. Like, you know, they're being kept from society. Like,
I was probably gonna go there, but I was
saved.
exiled instead.
Yeah. So it's hard, but like you already get a good feel of like where like people aren't really paying attention to you as much. You do look around. Does anyone else do anything in particular as they go around? Or are any of you sticking together?
think Aldane will be fine just looking around.
On his own?
Yeah.
What about you, Seamus and Felix? Do you stick together?
Is anyone playing
I
basketball?
think we should. How about pump and iron?
Okay.
The weakest and least athletic members of the party want to go do something that requires
James-
strength and athleticism.
Seamus is gonna burst a blood vessel and shit himself when he tries to like do deadlift.
I'm gonna shit out my colon.
What about you, Felix? Are you going with Seamus?
As I said, is anyone playing basketball?
There are people in the court, yeah.
I'm gonna go play basketball. Why not?
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
do
what?
that.
That's what, you both going basketball, okay?
Yeah, I'm sticking
Um,
with Felix. The weaklings gotta stay together.
So we're gonna do Daron first, just because of the order of things.
Mhm.
So Daron, as you're examining the area, are you looking for anything in particular? Or are you just sort of getting a lay of the land first off?
Well, I'm doing two things. Like I'm getting the lay of the. I'm getting, With-
Hmm.
but with like, who are the gangs? Who are the leaders?
You do see quite a lot of like different groups. Some of them though don't seem particularly affiliated. It's more like some of them are just chatting to each other to pass the time. You actually see a couple of guards are even chatting with prisoners. Like there are some people who are particularly cordial with others. You even see like a few like gangs of like mixed genders, because there are women in here and stuff like that as well. It isn't just like you're in the male section, you've been lumped in. Like you do see a couple of gangs of like, you see one group in particular that's like a gang of nothing but women, probably like 9 or 10 of them, all of like different races. Not a single one is like similar to each other, and they're all like sat in one of the corners, like chatting and doing whatever. Other than that, you do see like a couple of old prisoners. They've probably been here for ages, and they've probably lived like, from what you can tell, they have that sort of, what's it called, that vibe that they've lived in this prison longer than they've been out of prison. Like there's a distinct lack of hope in some of the people here. Otherwise, you do sort of get a feel of like some guard, like you do see a couple of guards who are sort of like walking in patrols as well. You know, keeping a lookout for people doing anything weird. You see the gang of females in particular are not being bothered by anyone. Like guards are specifically moving away or not getting too close to them.
Okay.
It
I know
it doesn't help
Darren's-
that it doesn't help that it's your first day, so it's sort of like, you know.
Right. I'm trying to just get my like immediate bearing.
Yeah, I get that.
And also,
The courtyard is massive, though. I will say that.
yeah, and no one is immediately striking as like this is someone who matches Toranosuke's.
You don't see any white tiger men. You see a couple of like tabaxi, but none of them look anything like a tiger. The closest you see is a leopard, and that's spots, not stripes. And
No,
they're all like,
anyone
like-
I
they're all-
recognize.
not really. I mean, in some cases, when you've done work for the guard or stuff like that, it's mostly like, you know, it's Tuesday for you guys.
Right. I meant more color card.
No. You know, with Centralis, like, or at least Cordis, you've been around like enough guards to get an idea of the law with stuff like that. If a criminal was from a foreign country and put into here, unless they're a citizen of this country as well, they would get immediately extradited to Bovetman. So yeah, you don't.
Okay, but no one I
recognize any-
recognize, no one is immediately jumping out as like, okay, we have to stop them from harming Toranosuke.
The most interesting thing is the group of women, because they're all of like different races that they could presumably have their own different skills, but you don't, from what you can tell from the distance that you're looking at, they aren't immediately causing problems. They're just sort of like, the only thing telling is that they're not being bothered by guards. in any way.
Can I ask someone what their deal? Like who are those? Who are they?
Yeah, you find a gentleman. You find someone. They just say, "Oh, yeah, that's the that's the RTH gang. They've
The
been
what?
in. It stands for Roses Have Thorns.
Wouldn't that be
They've been in here.
RHT?
No. The guy even like smiles as if like, yeah, I don't understand either.
Fair.
I believe the leader has dyslexia. That's why the misspelling occurred.
That makes sense. Okay.
Not to judge. I mean, you know, I have only one sight. I only have sight in one eye. You know, he just shrugs. But
Do
yeah,
they take people
the
who are
lead.
non-binary, or is it just women?
No. Hey, I've been in prison for over a decade. I don't know what's going on the outside. Anyway, just like, so the leader, the lady right over there, and they point out let me find them. They point out a green dragonborn woman. She's the leader of the group. I don't know the name. I don't really want to associate with any of them. I just keep my head down whenever they pass by. But apparently she's the leader. So if you want to know stuff about the prison, she's probably your best bet. But it's actually getting to her and her gang. Last time someone walked over to them for them to get help. Well, I mean, I don't know. I was actually ill with food poisoning, but apparently it wasn't good. Speak to them at your peril, my friend.
Thanks for the tip.
No problem. I'm happy to see new faces. I mean, the last guy we had was beaten up by someone we've had in here for like 18 years nearly now. And he got beaten up because.
Can I insight this guy? I want to get his vibe.
Yeah, do
Vibe check him.
Vibe check. He seems a bit uncomfortable. Not from you specifically, but this guy clearly doesn't look like he's like fit for this place, and if you get what I mean. Like, the fact that he seemingly hasn't been like, from what you're used to with criminals, this guy's probably lost his eye, or at least the use of his eye, I should say, before he came in. And it seems quite frankly amazing that this guy hasn't had any significant injuries or anything like that, because this guy doesn't seem like he should last in this place. So, you know, it's like the introvert who's been forced to come to a party.
Well, what's your name, friend?
Oh, my name. Of course, you're asking that again. Fuck you. No, it's fine. This gentleman is, in fact, a wood elf, actually. My name, Ayla is my name.
Ayla.
I'll type it out for you. Ayla.
Name is Rayera.
You like it. You look like that. That name suits you.
Thank you. Some would say it's an omen, but you know.
I mean, my parents called me an omen growing up, so. I mean, a bad one, but.
Aren't we all? It's how we
Probably
rise
didn't
above it, isn't it?
Probably didn't help that I ate my sister alive when she was about 6 years old.
Cool.
Oh god, I'm getting such strong Brooklyn Nine-Nine vibes.
I feel like that just threw me. I'm sorry. Give me a second.
I mean, I'm a vegetarian now.
Glad to hear it. Sorry.
Not vegan though. And he gives
No,
you like
I could never.
and
I
he
could
gives
never.
he gives you an unnerving stare as he says that he's not a vegan.
Have you seen any tiger men around?
The only tiger man I know is that Toranosuke. He's been near for a bit, but I don't know where he is. He usually keeps to himself.
Doesn't come out to the yard to play?
He does, but usually it's occasionally to do exercise. Otherwise, he mostly just stands around doing whatever. Occasionally, he'll fight people and take their stuff.
I'd heard he was in here.
Why did you come in just for him? That'd be pretty fucking stupid to do.
Well, some would say I'm stupid, but, here we are.
Hey, you gonna eat that, by the way? And he points, and you see, like... He points to your feet, and you actually see, like, a half-stepped-on fly.
Go for it.
Oh, thank you. And he just immediately, like, nabs it as soon as you step off it.
Well, this has been enlightening. I'll catch you around, Ayala.
Yes, if you're ever in the cafeteria, don't be afraid to sit next to me.
I'll keep that in mind, Aylar. Have fun.
He gives you a wide smile as you walk away.
I think Dyer just kind of stares off,
Race walks.
and just... No, I don't think Dyer just race walks. I think Dyer just, does, that weird, stare off into space, and then head shake as if, okay, that was weird, and just moves on.
So, while that happens, Aldane.
Yes.
So you're generally just going around, right?
Yeah. I'm going to do a perception check to see if anybody catches my eye, or catches my, just raises any flags,
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So immediately, you see, let me find it. Where is he? You feel almost a chill as you find a very familiar gentleman. Let me see. Is it familiar? Actually, I don't remember. Oh, yeah. You've seen this guy before, and you've been described to him before as well. You see a gentleman who has goat-hoofed feet and a broken goat horn as well. He has a missing pinky finger in his right hand.
Kaido, you promised.
Here we go.
Oh, man.
You're quite
Alright.
glad. You're probably quite glad that you're the one to meet him. But you just see this guy who's sat on the floor with a deck of cards as he's playing against someone.
Aldean is debating with himself whether or not to join in on the card game.
And you just hear him say, "You know what happens if you lose to me? I get your finger."
Aldean immediately decides not to join in the card game.
You hear the other guy just say, though, "You've lost to me 5 times now. I'm not giving you my finger."
Aldean is
ever
still not going to play the card game.
Ever since you lost to that Eladrin kid you won't shut the fuck up about, you've been really unhinged. Do you leave him?
Aldean is going to stay in the general area and listen in on the conversation for just a moment longer before moving on.
I mean, perception doesn't just limit to sight. But yeah,
Yeah.
you pretty much just see him like, and he just like slams the cards in his hand on the floor and just says, "Don't you bring him up around me again." And the guy's like, "You literally brought him up 2 minutes ago.
Oh,
Calm
no.
down."
Oh
And the satyr just says, "If I ever see him again, oh boy, he better hope we're not in the cafeteria."
no. Oh god, I'm gonna get shivved.
Don't
I am
worry,
in
you're
the
with me.
I am in the mood for sausages. And that guy who's lost his eye, who used to be a cannibal, has set me up with some really good knives.
I'm gonna get shivved with a shank and shanked with a shiv.
Aldea
I'm in
knows himself that he should warn Felix about this.
I'm in the mood for elven sausage, and I don't mean the one below the waist. And the other guy's just stone faced, and he's like, "I don't care. Just give me your fucking cards already. I beat you. That was the bet. If I beat you 6 times in a row, like now, you just see him put down a royal flush. I take your card back." And he just nabs it from the guy's hand, and you just see the satyr like bursting into tears like a child.
Man, even beating him up isn't gonna do me much good, considering how pathetic he is.
Aldean decides to take his leave at this point before he gets thoroughly noticed.
As you do, though, you actually bump into someone as you turn, and you have to look up. Because how tall are you again?
Like about 6 foot something? Get the exact height. Six foot even.
6 foot what, sorry?
6 foot even.
Right.
Exactly 6
You-
feet.
You look up, and he's not too much taller than you, he's probably a few inches. But you see a gentleman, quite wide, very muscular, look down at you. He's not very tall, he's probably a few inches, but the most striking thing about him is the colour of his body. White with black stripes.
Why, hello there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you. Don't mind me. And he just, like, tries to walk past you.
Oh, don't worry. It's no issue.
Good. And he just starts walking back inside from what you can tell.
Sorry, may I have your name?
Why?
Just curious. I like to get to know people.
I'm not into guys.
Not like that. I'm not into guys either. Or most people, if I'm being honest.
Okay? And he just tries to turn around and walk away.
I'm Aldean. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
You do notice every time you do talk to him, he just stop. Okay, good for you. Wait, I've heard of Aldane. Aren't you some fancy schmancy noble type?
Indeed.
Okay,
Sort of.
and he
Mostly.
just turns around and walks away.
Well, that was very impolite.
He's just walking.
Would your name happen to be Toranosuke?
The moment you say that, he stops. And Mill, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop the music.
Oh god. Music is stopped.
Is Dyron at least around for this?
Not right now. Maybe a bit later, and I'll tell you when if you do.
Okay.
But you do
Aldean is
see
fully
him.
ready to shit beat out of him, but just so you guys
You s-
know.
You see him turn round, and he immediately has like a stern expression, and he's just like, "How do you know me?"
Well, reputation mostly. You do have quite the reputation as a very strong fellow.
He walks forward towards you, straight on, and it's almost a bit unnerving because like this man is quite jacked. Hey,
They certainly look the part, that's for sure.
How does someone like you come into knowledge about someone like me? There's only a
Oh,
few
I have
people who would tell you about me.
I have friends in many places.
You watch him lean in, and he gets unnervingly close to you. His tiger face is quite near you, and he just sniffs in. Tieflings.
Ah, yes. I
It's
happen
been
to
fun all
be
day. It's been good to get to know you. Have fun.
I happen to be courting a tiefling at the moment, or I was before I got arrested.
He narrows his eyes at you. Is that so?
Yes. Why would I lie to you, sir? You seem like you could do me great harm if you wanted to.
I could. But that would add more time onto me. Or potentially give me less time, and not in the way I like.
Hmm. That does not seem ideal.
So what are you in for then?
Oh, I got a little bit too deeply involved with a certain trafficking organization, and also several counts of assault and murder.
Noticeably, he actually widens his eyes at you. And you actually see him like gritting his teeth. If that's the case, then I don't want you anywhere near me.
Oh, most
I
of those
might be
charges are exaggerations.
I might be a murderer, but at least I have standards. And he actually shoves you and actually like give me a strength check. Yeah, strength.
Alright. Damn. I
You're
appreciate your.
wasting all your good rolls early.
He tries to shove you back, and you do feel the like pressure, but you hold the course.
Allow me to clarify. I was not involved in the trafficking. My involvement was more along the lines of murdering traffickers. I'm not very fond of them either.
Persuasion, because you are technically telling the truth.
You know, I'm starting to think I should have given everybody bardic inspiration when we were
By this
intaken.
It only
By this
lasts 10
point, Daron,
minutes. It
I'll be
would have run out.
nice. You see Aldane talking to a very tall and very buff tiger man.
Any sharp rocks nearby?
Who are you supposed to be?
But I hear a mystery.
Good for you, I guess.
Hello,
Former
Rye. How are you?
member, former member of the Collared Hearts.
The moment you say that, he actually walks over to you. And what's your AC?
15.
15. Let me see you now.
I said former.
He's still walking over.
Oh, this is going to end well.
Oh, it's a plus that much. I forgot he has good modifiers. 22.
Uncanny dodge.
He actually goes to deck you in the face for
I'ma deck you in the schnoz.
That much in bludgeoning damage.
Does
He
Seamus and
goes
I
to
see
deck-
this, by the way?
He goes to deck you, and you basically move out the way, but he like clips your cheekbone a bit.
I did say form.
Right. You should explain the circumstances of why you are a former
You do
member.
like hear like if you ooh, and you like Seamus, Felix. While you were actually having a very lovely time chatting with some of the basketball peeps. They're even willing to let you play with them.
Hey, didn't even have to do a charisma check.
They're all quite affable. The gents at the basketball court, it seemed to be. But you see a few people like, hey yo, what's going on over there? And then some of them like, is that Toranosuke? Oh, I didn't realize he was. Oh, maybe we're going to see a bloodbath today.
Prison fight! Prison fight!
Hey, yo, it's your first day here as well. And you get to see a prison fight.
Cue up
Fight!
Come on.
Fight! Fight!
Come on, let's go. And yep, you get led across, and you do see a very tall tiger gentleman, like squaring up to Daron.
Even taller than Seamus.
This gentleman's probably like 6'4", maybe 6'5".
So 2 to 3 inches taller. Gotcha.
Fight! Fight!
He's built-
Fight!
He's
Fight!
built like a brick shit house as well.
Felix is just chanting fight.
You actually hear a few people chanting that as well. In fact, Felix, amongst the voices, give me a perception check.
Okay, let me just get the sheet up. Perception. Jesus.
You hear the voice of a very familiar person who has hounded you in multiple gambling matches, also chanting fight. You look
Felix
over and
immediately
you see
tails
the
off
satyr.
and puts
Can
Seamus.
I do a perception check to recognize this person too, or at least recognize that
Yeah,
Felix
sure.
notices?
But yeah, your blood immediately, you don't notice. But yeah, Felix, your blood thins immediately as you see him.
Felix
Does not notice
immediately
you.
stops chanting and just like puts Seamus between himself and the satyr.
Oh,
He's-
and
He's
Seamus-
he's a ways away though.
Don't care,
Seamus
still
is also
doing it.
chanting fight, but he's gonna cast Bardic Inspiration.
You can't cast any.
on-
You can't cast.
I
any
can't cast
spells.
anything.
No,
Can't.
Really? I thought
we are without
I still-
abilities right now.
I mean, if it's part of your anatomy,
Without
like
magic
uncanny
abilities.
dodge,
Sorry, without magic
Yeah.
abilities.
magic abilities aren't. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Bardic Inspiration might have been an exception,
Nope.
but I guess not.
That is a magic thing.
But yeah, you just. Yeah, Tora just squares up to you, Daron, and he looks pissed.
Don't worry, I'm no longer a member. They kicked me out for actually trying to stop them from being assholes.
Persuasion.
Can I assist?
No?
Let me know when you want me to start the music back up. By the way.
Oh
Carl.
no.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah!
Jinx.
You see a few guards pushing through the crowd, and you see a few of them with hands on their weapons by their hips, and they just like look at you guys, you, Darren and Tora, and just like, is there a problem here?
Nope.
Tora looks over and looks at you, and then looks back at the guards and just says, no, there's no problem here. And he just walks away. In fact, you actually see him shove through the crowd. And you just watch as he like shoves the satyr, and he just face plants the floor.
Thank you later, Alden. Stay safe.
And the crowd immediately looks let down because there's not a fight.
And I just move away.
The guys at the basketball court, Seamus and Felix, just say, hey, yo, you want to play some ball now?
Sure.
Sure, let's hoop.
If we're not gonna get a
How about-
prison riot.
Huh?
How often are
Yeah,
the prison riots, by the way? I want to, make sure schedules match up.
I'd say you can play the music again now, Mel.
Cool.
Prison rights. Well, I'd probably say the last time we had one was... Well, it was before I came here. I've only been here for 3 years. Apparently the last one was like 15 years ago.
So we're due one. Good to know.
I don't really know. Sorry.
Great.
Notably though, that guy, that catty fella, was one of the only people who didn't participate in it.
So he's got pretty good restraint then.
I don't know, he was ready to deck that Genasi fella, that person.
I'm sure that was an exception. That Genasi tends to have a talent for pissing people off.
Oh, you're friends with him, are you?
I didn't say that. More like acquaintances.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah, we're friends.
The guy nods, and they lead you back to the court, and yeah, they all seem pretty friendly. Like some of them are teaching you and showing you like basketball tricks and techniques, and yeah,
They're gonna teach me how to dunk.
They actually laugh when you suggest that.
What? I'm definitely tall enough.
It's not a matter of height, mate. It's a matter of jumping ability, and you don't you've got the legs for a jump that good.
Well, maybe if I had magic, I could.
I mean, none of us can have magic, not with these things on us.
Can I try and dunk?
Sure, go for it. Athletics check.
Can it not be acrobatics?
No, athletics.
Damn.
If you... Mel, before you roll... Oh. I was going to say if you nat 20'd, I'd have allowed the dunk.
I mean, a 14's not bad.
You jump up and you just have the ball, like, clip the hoop. It still goes in, but you don't really get a proper dunk.
Damn.
Alright, my turn to try.
Oh, God.
If Felix can get that close, I should be able to get the ball over the rim.
Nat one.
Nat one.
As you run and jump, you just completely undershoot it, and you nearly actually, like,
Face plant.
face plant into the actual pole that holds the board up.
Typical
Well, that was
Seamus.
worth a shot.
It's no problem, guys. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. I mean, hey, and he
How about
points
shooting
to
like a
fellow.
three-pointer?
He points to a fellow basketball player and just says, "Ever since this guy blew up that one orphanage ages ago, he lost his leg, and now he can only really dribble with his prosthetic."
Neat.
So how about like just shooting from deep?
No trouble there. Go for it, guys. This time you can do dexterity checks
Yay!
to shoot.
My dexterity is recently upgraded.
3-pointer,
All right.
bitches.
You do it from half. So you just get handed the ball and you do it from halfway across the court, like from the midpoint of the court. You get a couple of tries to do it, Seamus, but you do get one in the end. You do
Nothing
get a
but
good
net.
3-pointer.
Cool.
The moment you get like the halfway across the court one, Felix, the entire court loses their fucking shit.
Maybe I should
We
be
got
a
a Steph
sports
Curry
player.
on our hands.
You just see one of the guys like, "Hey, yo, this spindly fella is not too bad, is he? He's got talent," and they all like start cheering for you. From henceforth, you immediately start getting the name. I'm gonna get a generator. You are known as the. Here we go. You are henceforth given the nickname, the Small Leaper.
That one's kind of lame.
Hey, if you think that's lame, you should see what Dick Fingers did to get his name.
You're just using Cards Against Humanity answers at this point.
No, I'm not.
Next thing you know, someone's going to be nicknamed Penis Breath for an all too obvious reason.
I just love that Felix is just getting a reputation
Hey!
in just like the strangest places.
Hey, my name isn't that bad. One of the other basketball players says that's not a bad nickname, and you know it.
Which nickname?
One of them actually says Penis Breath isn't a bad nickname to be given.
Oh, I am so sorry.
I got it because I bit the cock off a guard.
Oh, that's probably the best possible reason to have that nickname.
I was a guard carrying a rooster.
No, I bit his penis off.
Oh! Thank you for clarifying.
No problem, my guy. Small leaper, and they all like go, hey, like proper.
Yeah, I love that Felix has a reputation as like a gambler and now a basketball player.
What's your passive perception? 13. By the
13.
way? You just notice someone walking into the building from across the courtyard. He looked like he had a turtle shell on his back.
Oh, God.
You feel like you've seen him before, but you didn't really get a good enough look.
Oh no.
Out of the corner of your eye.
My passive perception, I think, is higher. Do I notice this too?
It was a ration.
Knew it. I swear, this fucking guy is everywhere. Or does he actually have all those brothers, he says?
So, eventually, you get led back inside as it is time for your lunch. You know, your second meal of the day.
Out of character, I feel like Ration is low-key some kind of trickster god who just, like, follows the party around for shits
I mean,
and
if
gigs.
Mill ever wanted to actually learn more about Ration's character instead of just playing Mahjong...
We can talk when we play Mahjong!
Still, though, there's always the opportunity to learn about his backstory, more than what you know.
Seamus leans over to Felix. Hey, do you know if there's any Mahjong in the prison here?
Why would I know? I've been here as long as you are. You have.
Don't you have a nose for these high-stakes gambling games? You always seem to find Mahjong tables wherever we go.
Yeah, because they're labeled Mahjong. I have eyes.
So you get led inside. A lot of tables get taken up already. There's not too many places to sit. Daron Aldane, notably, you do see Toranosuke, like, on a table on his own in, like, the far corner. And it's the only table that doesn't have at least one person on it.
Do I see this as well?
All of you would, because I assume you reconvened, but them two... I'm saying them two specifically because them two spoke to him.
Mm-hmm.
Seamus sees this is like the only open seat.
Seamus, Felix, you do see some of the basketball guys are actually leaving seats for you to sit with them if you want to.
What do you think, Felix? Sit with the basketball guys or with the scary tiger guy? Oh shit, is that Toranosuke? Seamus is like just now realizing that might be exactly who they're looking for.
Do I see where the Seder is sat?
Give me a perception check. He isn't near you guys. You'd have to actively seek him out for him to really like...
Like, how far away is he from the basketball guys, and how far away is he from Toranosuke?
So, like, I'll draw a vague shape of, like, you know,
Yeah.
the room, but say it's like, say this is the cafeteria. you know,
Yeah.
not to scale,
Mhm.
like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck!
Oh boy,
wait.
it takes up a third of the map. It's a
Uh,
large
Big prison.
cafeteria. Oh yeah.
Not to scale. Say you're like right there, right now. You
Mhm.
know, vibing. Toranosuke with his token that I do actually have is like here,
Mm-hmm.
It's a
and
badass
like
token.
yeah. The basketball guys would be like there, and then you know the satyr would be like where is it? Like the satyr would be say over here.
I love what you used for the satyr. That's great.
I didn't want to use another NPC token, so yeah.
What is that token? I don't recognize it.
It's the Lost. It's one of the Sorrowsworn you fought
Oh.
on the Forbidden Ice.
Ha. Close
So, yeah.
enough.
There you go. Again, not to scale, so yeah, it's a big difference of distance.
Right.
Don't forget
Seamus.
there's people. Don't forget there's
Oh.
also other people in the room, like other people sat
Yeah.
down, so you're not exactly like clear line of sight.
Mm-hmm. Seamus turns to the group and kind of under his breath. So, Dairon and Aldane, do you want another crack at negotiating with Toranosuke, or
Yeah.
What do you
I
think?
thought I
Tyrone?
wasn't with them.
You are.
We
Okay.
Give me
reconvened.
one sec, guys.
out of character though? My thinking is the more friends we have in prison, the better. So I'm thinking Felix and I could make nice with the basketball guys. Well, you guys negotiate. You guys take the lead on trying to convince Toranosuke to jailbreak with us.
I mean, we could also try making friends in prison as well, but
You guys were the ones who made
you guys
contact
have already
with him
made
first,
headway.
though. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Just
mean, admittedly, it didn't
considering
really
where we
look
are.
like good contact, given, you know, fight and
You
all.
tried
He
to
was
kill
friendly.
both of us, yes.
He was friendly enough with Aldane. Dairon may have a bit more of a hurdle to get over. And I say friendly enough, but I mostly just mean he wasn't immediately gonna attempt violence upon you.
Fair enough.
By the way, Personas 3, 4, and 5 are going to be on PC and Xbox now.
Sorry about that. My
Wait.
brother needed me for something, and I used the excuse to take my dinner plate down.
But yeah, what do you think, Dairon? Should we negotiate, try talking again with Toranosuke, or should we try making more friends in the prison?
Let's meet with Toranosuke.
We'll be
We'll take
within
crap.
Yeah.
we'll be within sight and earshot of you guys, so if you need anything, we might be able to try to come and defuse the situation. But don't expect much in terms of force from either of us.
The problem is, if you go sit with the basketball guys, you're not really going to be able to hear Tora because there's enough of a distance where, like, with everyone talking and stuff in the room, you'd have to really roll very well.
Who says I'm trying to hear? I have this thing called Observant that I can read lips, so if I'm facing towards the table, then I could probably at least read one half of the conversation.
I'd say you'd have to make perception checks just to be able to, like, see through people.
I'm cool with that. Maybe
Okay.
Felix can help me with it on one or two.
Yeah,
in case I need it.
he'll just put his fingers. Oh, he'll just like put his hands over your face like binoculars.
Yes.
Well, if you need
I
help,
mean,
holla.
Could Could we have him help me with perception checks, or would that be too much to ask?
He could. I'm
Okay.
joking. Because you can always be like, hey, look at this over there. You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Yeah,
being
Darren,
shit.
Aldane, if you need help, holla. Otherwise, we'll be with the basketball guys. They're a nice group.
You know,
They're
we're
nice to
supposed to be
us.
here to stop. We're supposed to be here to stop this guy's execution date, but you know what? You've got it.
Look, do you think things are going to go better if we crowd him or if we,
Yeah.
stagger our
I'm thinking if-
approaches? I've got
I'm thinking
ideas,
if they
but,
show up with more people, it's going to be a little bit more threatening to him, like that we're going to try to start a fight, so we're staying uninvolved until friendlier moments happen.
Definitely not worried that he's gonna fucking break our shit in.
Also, the more
He might
people
break
we know on
Dairon's.
the inside, the more likely we can start a prison riot, which will be fun and give us a good cover.
Exactly my thoughts. The more friends we have, the more help we'll have in a prison riot, and we may even be able to help set it off.
Here's some new music.
Well, let's
By the way.
secure his cooperation first.
Obviously.
Yep, step one.
I just want to make sure that prison riot is on the docket.
Oh, absolutely.
You and me both.
So, as you go your separate ways, Darren Aldane, you see Toranosuke watching you approach, and he just like sort of goes back to meeting. I guess you couldn't take a hint now, could you, Bo?
Nope.
Nope. Look, we just want to talk for a little bit, then we'll be out of your hair. So to speak.
We're talking right now.
Exactly.
Yes,
and
you're-
we're already starting on a great conversation. Isn't this wonderful? I
Oh,
get the
Seamus,
sense
since
from your
Seamus is
look-
lip reading, he's like, Aldane, get to the point, hurry up before he punches you.
He looks up at you and just says, he doesn't look up at you, sorry, he looks up at you, Darren, and just says, so, you were part of the Coloured Heart too, then?
Formerly.
That's why I said were. Past tense.
Once upon a time, I was, yes.
Why are you not anymore then? Is it because of what you've done to get put in here?
Oh no, this was a while ago. I made sure they stopped. I made sure that they weren't abusing their power in Bovetman. People didn't like that, namely Queen Tiddlywinks, and I got shipped off here before they could kill me.
Who's it?
Cordis, I mean. The current queen.
There's another queen now?
Yup. Though one could argue that Old Throne is still the power in Bovetman. Or at least one of the powers.
Oh, that old bastard. He should hope I never see him again.
Me too.
After what him and my partner did.
He's apparently part of the cult of Tarask.
I always figured he was up to something no good.
So the cult of Tarask was a thing even back in your day, huh? Or you got put in here?
I mean, do you not read history? They've been around for ages and ages.
I was under the impression that they were a bit more underground a few decades ago than they are nowadays.
They literally made their appearance by summoning a Tarask.
Yeah, they have a pet one still. It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, we encountered that. Glad we didn't actually have to fight it. We would have died.
Have you had any trouble with the colored hearts in here, or have they left you pretty much alone?
It wouldn't do them any good to come in. Then they'd have to get out. And then they'd have to also deal with me.
Speaking of getting out, it makes for a very good segue. Because we do have a plan to get out. Not immediately, but in the not too distant future.
How not too
And,
distant? It's not too distant then.
When are you getting executed?
Didn't know. Not been told.
What did
At the very
out of character,
least-
what did Kuro tell us?
Probably next month. Depends
Before
on
next
if
month.
things get rejigged. Oh, next
We
month.
have.
eh?
Yeah.
That'll be. Shame. If it had been any longer, it would have been 19 years that have been put in the slammer. But it's the nice round 18 people, I guess. For every one of those lives I took.
Oh, we were wondering if you'd like to join us on our little escape plan.
And do what? What will you do when you get out? You'll still be criminals, right?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
There are a few kinks to iron out, but we have most of the plan set to ensure that we clear our good names, so to speak. Some of our names are in better standing than others, if I'm being honest.
Right.
However, we have a way of ensuring that you stay free if you do help us escape.
Is this some sort of threat?
No, quite the opposite.
What exactly is the point of me being broken out then? Why do you have such an interest in me specifically?
Why don't you tell him, Tyron?
Out of character, I don't know. I genuinely forgot.
I have also forgotten, that's why I was asking.
To be fair, Kuro's terribly vague about it and not very helpful. Give me an intelligence check, both of you.
Oh shit, my intelligence is garbage. It's literally just no bonus or detriment whatsoever. It's just flat.
I mean, that's technically good.
It is average. And somehow I had decent intelligence roll.
So,
Dyron's an idiot.
Daron, you're just more unnerved to the fact that this guy basically got unpersoned in your group before you know. Like, this guy basically has been in here almost as long as you've been, pretty much as long as you've been alive.
Yep.
And it's never been brought up. Aldane, you remember, basically the whole point is that, because he is actually very skilled, and it's also the point, like, not only does Kuro believe that he doesn't deserve to be executed, but it's also, like, more assurance of, like, strong people who can look after the country and also just help.
Well, the reason
Like,
is twofold.
Kuro basically believes in his character, in a sense. And also it's because of Zaris' sake, because they know each other, you know, Tora and Zaris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
but just
the reason is twofold. Our sponsor has a very invested interest in getting you out.
Is your sponsor the King of Cordis by any chance? I can smell him on you.
No, but Rua is a longtime friend.
Who's Rua?
the current king
Oh.
of Cordis.
Oh, did the last king
He
stop
was-
being the king then?
He was kidnapped and killed by the cult of the Tarrasque.
Oh, that's a shame. I wanted a second round with him. He's the reason I'm even in the slammer.
Well, speaking of the cults, the other reason we wanted to get you out is we need muscle to deal with people like them. And you are one of the best.
I wouldn't say I'm that good anymore. Just because I have a gym doesn't mean I'm in practice. Rarely do I ever get in fights.
Cordis is in the middle of trying to build up its military power.
Alright. Well, I mean... How interesting.
Also, there's a Dracolich.
Oh yeah,
Draco
that
what?
Draco Lich.
Is that some sort of weird drag queen?
No,
No, unfortunately.
it is
Nancy,
literally an undead dragon.
Next, you're gonna tell me its name is Paul.
Unfortunately, its brother's name is Evan, and the leader of Black Rain.
Oh. You've pissed off a lot of interesting people, then it sounds like.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, the big ones are Black Rain and the Cult, but there are a lot.
It's a shame Akira isn't around. Maybe
He
he could
is.
dealt with all this. Oh, really?
Yes,
The
but
biggest to Akira is that he can't be in place. He can't deal with things that he doesn't know the whereabouts of, and he can only be in one place at a time because there's only one of him.
also, we're more agile than he is in terms of being able to move around more quietly.
I don't know about that. I mean, you should have seen when I fought his son. That's probably the only fight I've ever been in where I feared for my life, and the fucker only had one hand. I couldn't even do anything against him.
What I mean is, when Akira goes somewhere everyone pays attention, he's almost too bright a star. We can move a little bit more quiet. Not draw as many eyes.
I get what you mean.
Point is, Akira is all well and good, but Tortoise needs, with Black Rain on the rise and the cult also getting its strength up, we need more power, more allies that we can trust, and we can't rely on Bovetment or even Silchamok.
I don't know about that. Doesn't seem like there's really much in it for me. Even being out of prison doesn't really feel like that much of a benefit.
About a tiefling.
Lots of tieflings exist. I don't have particular umbrage with tieflings.
You can get a shot at one very specific tiefling.
A certain decimator, if you will.
You start to hear the sound of wood being broken, and as you look to the source of the noise, you see his left hand gripping the table very hard. That bastard left me with the bag. The only reason I even fought the former king is because he left me behind to rot.
What if
Yes.
we told you that you could get a crack at him if we helped you bust out?
Persuasion with advantage, Jack.
Oh, that advantage.
So I'm gonna say now, because you brought up Zaris, the DC was actually very low.
That's good.
Doesn't need much convincing about Zaris.
What's the plan then?
Out of character, he's probably going to be glad to hear that you're courting his daughter.
I don't know
What's the
about that.
What's the plan then?
We're working on getting the details ironed out, but
You've been in here the
Short-
longest. You've been in here much longer than we have, obviously. You have a sense of what the guards do, how they operate, the leaders of the groups here. Who
A
we
lot
can
of the
get
people
supplies on.
tend to steer clear of me.
Hmm.
The only time I ever speak to anyone is when they speak at me first.
Yes, but you've been in here for 18 years. At this point, you probably know a lot of, if only by reputation.
I'm gonna be honest with you. They are upsettingly thorough and very good at changing their patrols all the time. In fact, the only consistent thing is the order of how they change things. Usually they change patterns once every 2 weeks. And the frequency of them repeating the same patterns has been alarmingly uncommon. In fact, this current pattern hasn't been done in probably, the the last probably 4 years ago. And then another 5 years before that.
Good to know. Well, we will be having supplies delivered to us by someone on the outside at a point in the very, very near future. Don't know the exact point, but it'll be soon. In the meantime, we're going to be making connections around the prison and trying to gain information. And
I mean, if those two are your friends over there, and he looks past you guys, and Seamus and Felix, you just see Tora look at you from the distance.
Felix waves happily.
Do we, should I do a perception check to make sure I was, like, reading everybody's lips to know what was going on in the conversation?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that, and then that'll
The
kind of...
perception will be how much of it you were able to glean and get.
Understood. I'm assuming a lot.
You got most of it. There was only a couple of things here and there, but just based on context,
I knew exactly.
It's pretty easy to get an idea of, like, what's going on.
So before before they look over at us, Seamus kind of leans over. Looks like it's going surprisingly well. We might get this guy on our side. And then I guess they look over at us, and Felix does his whole waving thing.
So there's 2 half-elves, an Ergenasi, and an elf.
mm-hmm.
And none of you can use your magics, right?
Correct.
I mean, I wouldn't know. And he holds up his wrists, and there are actually no bangles on his arms.
Did you just take them off yourself, or were you not given any?
I can't cast magic.
Hmm.
And surprisingly, Leonin don't actually have the capacity to use magic. Naturally so, anyway. Or at least, it's not innate spells like you guys can have.
True. Regardless, we're going to work on
The first thing
the
would
next
be...
few days. We'll be gathering intel and formulating the details of the plan.
The best thing you can do is try and get as much as you can to set up.
How much? Do you have any idea what's in the vault?
No? The only thing I do know is that, ideally, making connections would probably be the best thing you can do. Unless your friend can smuggle in everything that you need to get through, when it comes to actually breaking out, the best thing you can do is steal stuff off the guards when it comes to that.
Hmm.
Although the guards that have keys constantly change as well. And the guards
No.
all carry stuff on them to hide their magic items. So if we're very unlucky, we knock someone out who's probably at the bottom of the totem pole. At least for me, with my skills, I'm very good at breaking things. So if you need me to smash into any rooms or break through walls to scare people, I can do that pretty easy.
Hmm. Sounds good.
I will say, though, I'd be careful of some people. A lot of them are... well... a lot of them won't be very helpful. The best thing you can do is play people against each other. Like that one satyr you watched. If you could find someone who he particularly doesn't like and maybe set him off on them, that'd be a great way to get a distraction going.
Seamus chooses
Aaron?
not to share that part of the conversation with Felix.
That being said, you've
I don't
only
like
just
the look
come
you're making.
That being said, you've only just come here, so I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't know anyone like that.
Buddy
You-
stories.
You say that.
Oh?
Have you ever listened to that satyr rant about something?
He ranted to me once about why he got brought in.
Did he mention an Eladrin?
He mentioned some annoying little fuckstick of a string bean of a boy who stole his finger.
Dairon
And then-
just like nudges their head towards Felix.
Ah.
Felix waves happily again.
And Seamus is not telling him any of what they just said.
Poor kid.
He's a good
I
guy. He's 100,
don't
but
wish-
he's a good guy.
I don't wish anyone on that satyr.
Understandable.
I think the biggest problem to encounter is that one gnome, the one with the burnt face you've probably seen already.
Mm-hmm. Why is he an asshole?
He leads... What's the name of the group again? The Chard.
Sound like
And-
fun group of people. Who are they?
The Chard are a group of people who banded together after being brought in here. Most of them had some crimes related to heat in some capacity. Either they were branded as criminals, they burnt people alive, committed arson, that sort of thing. And the gnome, that little pissant, well, he actually has a lighter on his person, and he loves using it on people.
So what you're saying is we need to steal the lighter from him.
I mean, a lighter would be a fantastic tool to use. The problem is it's getting it off him and his gang of bum chums.
Well, I happen to know a certain individual who's quite good at sleight of hand.
The name of that particular gnome is Namfoodle.
Aldea importantly does not comment on his name.
Odd name.
Odd name, but, well, when you see what he does to people, you wouldn't say it's odd. Also, I've heard anyway. I'm never usually around, and he knows well to steer clear of me.
Those we're gonna try and get you out.
What's the actual plan when we leave here, though? Because if
We'll
Zaris
rendezvous with our contacts and
if Zaris knows if I ever set foot out here, he'd make it here as soon as possible. Probably to stop
Yes.
me.
Well, we will be stopping him.
With what?
they're probably going to use me as bait.
Yeah,
Why
Zaris,
you?
Zaris has a particular dislike of my friend here.
I mean, he was never a fan of the nobility growing up, but I hardly see why that
No,
matters.
it's not
He
because
has-
of that.
He has a daughter, and my friend here is a man who is into women.
He just narrows his eyes at you, Dairon. Like, what? Oh.
I'm courting his daughter.
That makes things interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but all half jokes aside, our contact will probably try to stall Zaris as we try to get you back to Cordis or to a safe house.
I mean, if you know Akira Everay is around, then I presume you've made contact with him, correct?
Yes, he's living in Centralis.
No. Surprisingly close to home. Well, for you guys anyway. I'm not a
Yeah.
citizen of here.
We'll probably stash you somewhere. Get you in close, and you can have a bout with Zaris at your leisure.
Okay. I mean, I actually know a place in Centralis where we could probably hide out. It's an underground place. You travel there through the sewers and it's a good place to hide out. I never got to go there myself. That's where I was supposed to meet Zaras.
If it's where you're supposed to meet Zaras, wouldn't he also know about the place?
Well, the problem is he never came to Centralis. He was still on the boat. Or at least he was supposed to be getting on the boat to meet me.
Ah. I see, I see.
Or I could get Docs to potentially meet his boat, however. King Givayas Evere met me. Still, I guess I'll have to wait on you guys to do things next, but for now, I'd suggest you keep your heads down. The more notorious you make yourself as well, the more the guards will actively stop you from doing things. Which means picking your fights carefully, if you have to do any anyway. Seems like your friends over there have got the right idea. Basketball people are all pretty good. For the most part, anyway. I think the only one that has of any real issue is, what did one of them do again? Oh yeah, that one over there that's talking to your Eladrin friend. Apparently he, murdered an entire family of Eladrin.
Oh.
Does
Sounds
Seamus
like
notice
fun, hello?
him say this? Do I
Yeah?
have to do another perception check, or is it still
You
covered?
don't need to, you read that on his lips.
Seamus freezes, like looks side eye at Felix and the person he's talking to.
So, what are you in
Apparently,
for?
Apparently an
Should I tell
Eladrin
him?
Apparently an Eladrin noble from Blackgrain fucked over his family.
Interesting. It's a good thing we don't know any Black Rain nobility.
I
Come
would
to
have
think of
told
it,
you
the
by now.
description
I would have told you that, I think. Been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
At least 3 weeks.
So
But yeah.
Felix's family was.
But yeah, Felix is just like, you're a nice guy. What are you in for?
Oh, I don't think you want to know, my friend. If we want to be friends anyway.
I don't see why not.
Are you really sure?
What's the worst it could be?
I mean, fair enough. All I did was kill some nobles in Blackgrain. No big deal, really.
I mean, really, you should have been awarded for that.
You actually see a few members of the table actually chuckle at that. And one
I
of the
mean,
guys next to
fuck
him just says,
Blackgrain,
no,
am I right?
He actually murdered some elven nobles. His mother was a slave of the family, and well, yeah.
I'm sure whatever they did, they deserved it.
Oh, they did. I only killed their. I only killed that particular bit of the family. I didn't kill all of them. It's a shame. Apparently, one of the people actually ran away from the family.
I mean,
Might
who
have been
could
fun to
blame
meet
him,
the
right?
guy. But apparently, yeah, he was actually an Eladrin as well, kind of like you. Funny coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, it's nowhere near the same. I'm from Tenoyama. Kinda hate Blackgrain. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, for real. Sure. And he starts looking at your features a bit more, Felix.
Insight?
Yeah. I mean, Seamus, you have a pretty good idea what's probably going on.
Yeah, but I'm not saying anything because I don't want to make Felix get too skittish.
He looks like he recognises you, Felix. And given the context of what he's just said, nah, Nah, you definitely couldn't be them. After all, you said you're from Tenoyama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no problem at all. Although if you were to be part of that family, well... Let's not talk. Again, we're supposed to be friends, we're supposed to be making friends.
Look, I don't think a member of, Black Rain nobility would end up in a prison here.
I mean, you say that. Someone else just, comes in, I mean, you say that, but that one satyr who keeps going on and on about some, guy who cheated him at Mahjong was actually from Black Rain.
Oh, of course he was, that lying bastard.
Yeah, apparently he was the scion of a family. Actually, apparently distantly related to the mayor of Black Rain.
Knowing him, it doesn't surprise me.
So I'm gonna say, after all that talking, eventually your lunch comes to an end. Your chatting is done.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you get brought to yourselves for the first time, because you've not actually been brought to yourselves. But before that, I'm going to call a break.
Cool.
Alright.
So Felix is gonna die in here, is what I'm learning.
From two people at least.
Felix just laughing. I'm in danger.
You know, I'm surprised that nobody's recognized Seamus yet. Or Seamus hasn't really recognized anybody yet. I wonder if there's any Seamus's schmoes that got themselves locked up in prison.
How would they know about you and hear your music?
I mean,
Well, what I'm
now.
saying is more recent additions to the prison could be from Seamus's schmoes.
You saying your fans are criminals?
Well, one of them sent me a locket with bloody hair in it.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Your fan base is diverse. But yeah, my initial thought was just have Felix go over to Toranosuke and just start talking incessantly.
There's no need for that at this point.
I'm still gonna probably do it.
I want him to actually work with us, not to be annoyed, though.
I've
That's
wanted
big
to do
assumptions.
Toranosuke for a long while. His stats are really fun to look at.
Ooh.
You'd be surprised, and also a bit afraid.
Good.
He's got over 90 HP. He also has fantastic con, so
That's good. Anyways, I'll take advantage of the break right now. Get something to drink.
So yeah, P3 Portable, P4 Golden, and P5 Royal are going to be on PC and Xbox Game Pass.
finally I can
Oh, through
mod,
Game Pass?
Yeah,
I can mod Persona properly. I want to be able to mod Persona 5 to get rid of Oya, or just not make her a romance option.
I can do that with Kawakami.
Nah. Now hold on a sec. Now let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I'll find out. At least Tofu will be happy.
Why is Tofu a Kawakami stan?
No,
No,
Tofu's
he's a Persona 3
Coaster
stan.
fan. Yeah.
You know, I never understood the hype behind Persona. It just seems like anime in video game form.
I mean,
I mean, it is.
yeah, that's kind of the point.
It's kind of the appeal.
Also, again, you say that everywhere Akira goes, people see him. He's got 12 in stealth.
Well, what?
Like, you know what I
Plus
mean.
12 in stealth.
I know what you meant. Yeah, Akira has a 12 in stealth.
Oh, yeah. I honestly heard Akuro has 12 incels.
I mean, he probably knows a lot of incels that he would have beaten the shit out of.
That's fair.
Also, Akira can casually go. I know what you meant, but it's just funny because, like, Akira can also just go invisible at will. Like,
I'm just very curious to see whether it actually is Rash in prison with us, or he actually has like these identical brothers that are scattered all over the continent.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
I'm using this break to sit out on my porch right now, and it's kind of a beautiful day out. How's the weather in England, Kaido?
mild.
Hot.
You guys seeing the sun at all?
Yes.
Yeah. A little too much, it sounds like.
Actually,
It was
no,
actually
it's quite
warm
cloudy today.
yesterday.
How hot?
Probably around like, at least for me, it was probably like around 20-21 degrees, but it didn't feel like it. It felt a lot warmer.
20-21 degrees Celsius
So-
would be.
I don't fucking.
I'm trying to remember. Okay,
Bearing in
let
mind,
me look it
British
up.
heat. British heat is also like different to American heat because like.
Well, it's
of our
humid,
different
right?
climates. Yeah, it's miserable.
The point is that we're not used to those sorts of temperatures. Like 20 is probably quite chilly for y'all in California, but like for us Brits, where temperatures can get down to freezing at times.
The
during
problem
the
is,
year.
the
Oh
problem
yeah,
is
that's
as
like
well.
72 degrees Fahrenheit.
The problem is as well over
That's
here,
not
we're
hot.
used to more temperate climates. So anything too warm or too cold fucks us up really badly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
really
see,
cringe. Though,
California
is
is temperate, but on the hotter side of temperate.
the awful thing though about the UK is that the moment it starts getting at least 18 degrees, people just walk around shirtless.
Oh god, and all the beer bellies out there. Ugh.
It's disgusting. I saw a guy I recognised from school. I'm glad he didn't recognise me, but he literally had shorts on, no shirt, but he had a hoodie coat. That he had the hood over his head, but didn't have his arms in it.
Oh, Jack used to wear his hoodies like that.
So like a really awful cape. But you know what's the worst bit as well? He also had a backpack on.
Oh my. That just built a picture for me that I wish I could unsee.
Also, he was wearing football shoes.
He's wearing football shoes?
Give me a sec.
Are you talking about turfs?
We're not talking about J.K. Rowling.
Ah!
Turfs, not TE. TU.
It means like these
As in
kind of
turf shoes.
Like he had those sorts on.
Oh, hold on. Let me pull up the app on my phone. Oh yeah, soccer cleats or football cleats.
So yeah, like those. So yeah.
Fun
fucking-
fact. There's a lot of American football players that use soccer cleats or European football cleats.
I mean, they've got good grit in the.
No, they really do. I mean, especially like kickers in the NFL and stuff. A lot of them
Yeah.
and punters. They'll use soccer cleats. I'm
I'm
just
looking
gonna
at
call it
Apple.
soccer if it's okay with you guys. By the way, I don't want to offend you or anything,
It
but that's
is
just how I
not.
distinguish it in my
Fine.
mind.
Fine.
I am very
just-
offended, sir.
I'm just looking at Akira's abilities. I've got to count how many features he has. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Also, they are
8,
called
9,
boots,
10.
not cleats.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54,
Christ.
55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63 features Akira has across the classes he's in and his race.
That's insane.
Akira, a man of many talents.
I'll say.
Bearing in mind, he also is the same subclass as Kuro, which means he can just generate advantage as a bonus action.
Fuck, I wish I
But
had
also
that.
he also has 70 feet of movement like a monk.
Oh, I read the Shonen Jump chapters, by the way, for Jujutsu Kaisen and One Piece.
Looking forward to next week for One Piece. That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, we're gonna finally meet the third admiral here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I've
Ryokugyu,
seen,
Ryokugyu, or however you
Ryokugyu.
say it.
you.
I've seen
Rio
links for the
Kyugyu.
new. I've seen links for the new Dragon Ball movie.
I've kind of lost most of my interest in Dragon Ball. Once it got to that one dude that eats planets, I was like, okay, this scale is just getting too out of hand. I need to stop. Dragon Ball Super got really whack.
Moral's quite recent.
Yeah, no, it's like I think the last chapter I read was a year and a half ago.
Damn.
I was talking about the manga.
Yeah, the manga. Because Moral, like on the Shonen Jump app at least, Moral was like showing up as of like 2 years ago, I think. And it was like
Yeah.
I was getting towards the climax of the fight, but I just couldn't find myself to be interested in it.
To be
And I just
fair,
had to
there was a lot of shark jumping and very iffy bits.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Moro
Like, I'm
arc
not
is better
surprised.
when binged, but
That's true. I was reading it 1 week at a time, and it was just like excruciating for me. So maybe I'll go back and read it, and maybe
Isn't
it'll
it
spark.
monthly?
Yeah, it was like monthly chapters coming out by the time I was like, I'm done with this. It was just too long to wait.
I think the problem is like with the Moro arc, it doesn't set itself up very well unless you do binge it, because like there's a lot of awful stuff that takes it. That takes the later chapters for it to suddenly be like, oh wait, this is actually really good and well done. Like in a vacuum, each chapter doesn't feel great.
Yeah, that was part of it. But yeah,
To be honest though, Dragon Ball's already probably ruined itself now anyway with the most recent stuff about the Super manga.
oh, I saw. I don't know if these are spoilers or anything, but I saw some BS about like, oh, Goku finally meets Bardock in like a spiritual or astral
it's not-
plane or some bullshit.
It's not even that. It's backstory of Bardock.
Oh, they make like the story of Bardock canon or something, that he was a Super Saiyan or what?
No,
It's
they
more
made
how
it, They made
it's more-
Goku Superman but instead of something else.
They basically
Oh.
like very much make an unsettling implication of why Goku wins the fights he does. Like
What, that
I'm sure it was
Bardock
quite a
places the odds in his favor or something? Or
basically, yeah. Let me find, because it was quite a recent-ish chapter.
Oh yeah, I
but it's-
remember hearing about that.
yeah,
let me
I
find
like
it.
heard something about this, but I didn't read into it because I didn't necessarily want
free-
spoilers or care enough.
3 weeks ago. Fuck it, I'm saying it. Basically, he wishes on a Dragon Ball dragon, like a Shenron, not of Earth but from another planet, and basically wishes that his two sons would live happy lives without any trouble or something.
Well,
no,
that didn't
I,
work
I
for
remember
Rabbit.
that.
Didn't
I
work for
remember
rabbits.
what the deal was. He asked someone else to make a wish on the Dragon Balls for his sons to live to adulthood or something like that.
The wording was basically though that like Goku's plot armor in OG Dragon Ball could be attributed to that wish, and his
You know-
successes.
That's just trying to cover up that plot hole, though, right? In terms of Dragon Ball,
I
because there
also
were some situations that Goku definitely like could have died in Dragon Ball easily, conceivably, especially that fight against Piccolo.
Like the wording was like he wishes for his sons to thrive.
Yeah.
Again,
Like-
Well,
didn't work
that
for
could be
fucking
not
Raditz.
so much plot armor. That could just be like a an explanation as to how he developed so quickly and so well. He just basically gave him not only like an unlimited ceiling, more or less, but that also gives him just like, you know, XP boosts, as it were. Like, I mean, okay, if you guys have watched World's Finest Assassin, the isekai that the assassin dude gets reincarnated as like
So,
a prodigy,
what-
basically.
What the thing was with Dragon Ball at least is, so I think the wording is very ambiguous, and also the circumstances are ambiguous because the person who Bardock requested of the wish, it's not shown if they actually made the wish or not, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be a dick thing of him not to fulfill the wish, considering what Bardock does for him.
Yeah. I don't know. All I know is that some people are taking a wait and see approach, and some people are instantly furious about the thing.
Yeah. But if it's just like he wants them to thrive into adulthood, then it kind of ends once they reach maturity, which would explain why Raditz, you know, dies really early on, because he's
I mean,
already
it
an
wouldn't
adult at that point.
I mean, it wouldn't really say Raditz exactly thrives prior to meeting Goku.
That's true. He was bottom of the totem pole in like the handful of Saiyans left in the universe.
Unless Bardock has a third son, and he only thought of those two sons, Goku and his third son. And
God,
and he
that
was
would
like,
be such
Okay,
an
look.
Akira Toriyama fucking twist there.
like,
No,
you know,
that's a Scott Summers twist.
and he was
There's
like,
a
you know
third
what?
Summers brother.
Yeah, fucking Bardock was like, you know what? Raditz doesn't have my Nagina's hair. Fuck him.
But let's be real though. Goku was a newborn when Bardock died, so that's not likely.
Well, no,
Unless there's
in
a
my
middle brother or something, or an older.
minus that kind of era, he's actually like at least a year old.
So unless Bardock had a bastard son or something.
Like he's like Goku in the revised backstory is like at least a year old. He's old enough to like be in armor and stuff and like be aware. Which again was an awful, another awful thing they did. Like it was fine him
Is
just.
Akira
being a
Toriyama still writing it, or is it like a team of writers now?
Toriyama just needs to stop. Get help.
Speaking of Toriyama, I told Jack this last night, but apparently the
I
reason
thought
why
you said you were gonna tell. I thought you said I told Toriyama something. I was like, wait, yo, what?
Now, speaking of Toriyama, do you want to know why the new Dragon Ball movie is called Dragon Ball Super Superhero?
Yeah, because he forgot it was called Dragon Ball Super.
Yep.
Yep.
Just peak Toriyama.
I also don't like his comments about the consistency of the animation. Like, he basically makes a point at how the anime up until this point has never looked consistent or something, and it's like a really weird comment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, should we get back to it?
Yes, we are ready to enjoy the Dungeons and the Dragons.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure.
So, you get led to your prisons. Basically, as you see some people already in their cells, from what you can gather, the cells are basically big enough where there's a bunk bed, and like a small table and a chair at the there, and also then the toilet.
Classic prison cell.
Pretty drab. I mean, there's a bed sheet and like a pillow, but it's like still rather grim. Like it's not UK prisons where you actually get fucking televisions in your cells.
To be fair, like there aren't televisions in the setting.
I mean, if there were, but that's. But still, like you get. So what happens is, Felix, you get put in your room first, without the others. Wait, no, actually, let me check. No. So, Seamus, Felix, you're actually put in a room together.
Back to top bunk.
Just don't pull a Step Brothers and fall on top of me.
No promises.
Alright.
Can we turn our beds into bunk beds?
Now, what ends up happening is they both bring down the top bunk so they can sleep next to each other.
Adorable.
And then we'll
So-
cuddle with our socks on so it's not gay.
You don't have socks.
Fuck!
So,
Also,
so then, you know, you get your cells that are locked behind you both. Then, as you keep going, Daron, you get put in a cell, but without Aldane. Currently, there's no one else in the cell right now. You don't know if anyone else is supposed to be with you or not, but yeah. For now, you are alone. And Aldane, you get brought in. You actually get put down a good distance away from everyone else. Like, you just see jeering, what's it called? You just get, like, a shit ton of people jeering at you and, like, looking at you and laughing and, like, pointing and shit. And eventually, you get brought into a cell and you see a very familiar person. A man, white body, black stripes. You were only just talking to him not too long ago.
well then, this is quite the twist.
Indeed. No one else has wanted to share a room with me, no. Not after the last guy.
I'm not even going to ask what happened to the last guy.
He points at a wall, and you actually see the imprint of a face.
Ah. Well, that's good to know.
And then the cell gets locked behind you. And yeah, you're in your cells together. You do all have windows that you can actually look out, and if you do look out, you do see, like, the countryside of Cordis in the far distance, and the vague silhouette of the capital. So yeah. So we're going to start with Felix and Seamus. What do you both do when you get to your room?
Seamus probably practices singing a little bit so as to not let his voice go,
Performance check.
Okay. Hey!
It's a very beautiful, soothing tone.
I'll
And
sing
as you
some
actually-
prison tunes.
As you're singing, you actually hear, like, a few prisoners from across the room.
I
like,
stabbed
start
a man in
and
Vegas.
They start
just
joining
to
in.
watch him die.
Some of them actually start joining in and harmonizing with you.
Folsom Prison Blues, let's go!
You actually hear a few other prisoners, like, clicking the fingers, tapping on the bars. Like, it's a weird moment you share. And you can't even see most of the prisoners, so it's like...
This just makes Seamus think like, oh, starting a prison riot shouldn't be too hard with this lot.
Felix, What do you do?
Easily chawed.
Who's in the cell across from us?
As you look across, you see a fire genasi woman and a... Let me see. I'll make a roll. You see a fire genasi woman and a goblin woman.
Hi! How's your day going?
The goblin just like almost feral starts chewing on the bars as she stares at you.
Haven't been fed enough, huh? I get it.
And you just see the fire genasi woman like lay in bed, just like clearly not having a good time.
You know, maybe we should petition the guards for more food. I think this is just, you know, inhumanoid. Getting it now.
As you're sort of like looking across, you actually see a man trip a guard and go to the floor. And you just hear a few prisoners like laugh like, yeah, it's what you get, you bastards. And one of them even says like, I hope you break your fucking neck next time and shit like that. And the guard just slowly puts himself up. And Felix.
Yes?
Guess who it is?
Ration.
You see a black tortoise gentleman. And he looks up at you and just like stays like, fucking hell. Ugh. No one's gonna let me live that down. Noticeably though, you see something fall out of his pocket and roll ever so conspicuously into your room. It's a paintbrush. Your paintbrush, in fact. The brush of wind. Ugh, good thing I didn't drop anything. The boss would have killed me for that. Anyway, carry on.
Maybe you should check if you dropped your brain because you're so stupid.
He just stops, walks back over, like backward walks to look at you.
Oh,
Really?
God, Felix, stop starting fights.
Really, man?
I gotta earn a rap.
As a shit talker who can't back it up, because that's about to happen, buddy.
Yeah, what your friend said.
I'm hoping to whisper quietly enough that the guy doesn't hear it, but I know that's probably not going to happen.
He just leans in, not too close that you could reach out to him, but he's just like, and what are you going to do from in there, mate?
I mean, nothing. It's, you know, words.
That's what I thought. Rolls his eyes.
Not yet, anyway.
I'd be careful if I were you. You don't want to piss off the wrong people now, do you? You might lose a hand or two, or even some fingers if we're being generous.
Does the guy walk away after that?
After that, yeah, he just like slowly walks away.
Felix, we want to be on our best behavior until we can set off that riot. That'll give us more freedom of movement. Don't be picking fights that you don't need to pick.
Again, I'm earning a rap. He knows I didn't mean it.
What am I gonna do about you? But Seamus decides to just let it rest at that.
Dairon, as you're in your room, you do see a black tortoise gentleman walk past, who trips in front of you. Ah, fuck!
Can I slide up hand just to grab whatever I need from him?
Fun thing, you don't even need to. You see like a small pouch fall from his pocket, and it lands conspicuously into your room. It's a very familiar bag.
And I very quickly sleight of hand it into a secret compartment.
You don't even need to. It's actually perfectly enough. Right in your thing anyway. In fact, you'd have to reach deep in to try and grab it from you.
Well, I meant hide it so that other people
yeah.
don't see it.
But it looks like it looks like your thieves' tools are in the bag.
Appreciate it. Catch you in the flip side, Ration.
Who the fuck are you? Oh yeah, you're one of the new people, aren't you? Ugh. Look at the state of you. The absolute state, even.
Well, fuck you too.
He just widens his eyes like, you know. And just shrugs and walks away.
Darren just kind of sits back down in their bed and just kind of lays back and lets the night happen.
As after that, you then, what's he called? Sorry, Aldane. You do see, as you're sort of in there, you do hear some like footsteps in the distance, and you know, you get to, like Daron, enjoy the dulcet tones of Seamus and a few of the prisoners singing. It's a very weird thing.
I killed a man in Collier just to watch him die.
And yeah, what's it called? Basically, like, as you're just sat there, you just, because Toro's got the bottom bunk, because he's a big guy anyway, and he just like, ugh, I hate this singing. It was quiet until you guys came in. Better be worth it.
Sorry about that. Can't really do anything about it though.
So Toranosuke is not a fan.
So what's life like on the outside then?
Oh, you know, fairly peaceful in the big cities. Crazy as hell everywhere else.
And what's the new king like then?
He's young and inexperienced, but he's learning. He has a lot of admirable goals. He cut off our entire trade relations with Black Rain. And,
Oh?
that's fine.
I respect it. After
Yeah.
fighting them to get out of here.
It was a bold move, and I approved.
So you said there's some weird, like, dragon, like a dragon bitch?
Dracolich.
That's the one.
Yeah. Undead dragon.
Hmm.
Bits and pieces of it are all across the world, and we're trying to deal with it.
I mean, if it's in bits and pieces, can't you just make it into more bits and pieces?
That's what we've been working on, but because it's undead, it still has influence.
Hmm.
And influence isn't so easy to stamp out.
I get it. I'm interested though. I mean, who knows? Maybe if things go well, maybe I could fight one. It'd be nice to see life flash before my eyes again in a fight. Although, who knows? Maybe I'll see it when Zaris eats you alive. Figuratively, though. I should be more careful of being too literal given where we're in.
Yeah. Probably smart.
As you're chatting to him, Aldane, you do see a black tortoise gentleman walk by and just trip in front of you. And perfectly enough, you see a bottle of whiskey roll from his pocket. Looks just like the
Aldane
one that
snatches it up quickly.
you just see him get up and just like, oh, I'm gonna have to change these shoes. They're clearly not good for my feet. And he just gets up and looks at you, puts two fingers to his eyes and points them at you. You saw nothing.
No idea what you're talking about.
Good. And he just walks away. And Tora's just like, what the fuck was that about?
Oh, it's that thing we talked about earlier.
He's the Dracolich?
No, not that. Looks like we're getting the first set already.
Set of... Oh, right, yeah. Well, it looks like he gave you something nice. I don't get it. Are we supposed to drink ourselves through the night?
No, this is a valuable trade tool.
I mean, I know a couple of people who have rope and stuff like that here and there, so... won't be too bad.
Honestly, what I didn't say is just like, oh, didn't you hear? The whiskey market in here just crashed completely. It's worthless.
People are more into
That'd be very
spirit.
depressing.
People are more into wine at the moment. Yeah,
Regardless,
whiskey's
I'm sure this will be helpful.
definitely. I know a few people who can fashion metalworks together and stuff like that. So getting a hook or anything like rope or whatever, or any other such things might be useful.
Sounds like a good idea. You know what the currency is here, so to speak?
Anything. It just depends on how practical and useful it is. Stuff like cigarettes and food are the best things.
I can imagine.
Porn is probably the best as well.
I do not have access to that, so...
I mean, if you can draw it and have the means to draw stuff on, well,
Well, I happen to have a friend who might be able to do that. It's a question of if he's willing.
I mean, if he wants to get out of here, it probably isn't up to him then, is it?
No, probably not.
Well, until then, I'm gonna have a nap.
How about that?
Goes in bed and sort of just closes his eyes. So, you're all in the cell for the rest of the day. However, Dayron,
Yes.
again, give me 1 second. I need to change the music.
Ah,
It's one of those moments.
interesting.
So what are you doing, Dayron? Like, as you're just sort of in your cell, it's late afternoon, eventually getting onto the evening. And there's the music, by the way, now.
I am looking at. Every so often I walk up to the door and I just kind of look at the lock on my cell.
It actually looks excellently well crafted. Don't forget, though, if you do break your tools, you can't get multiples, so...
I know. I'm just keeping it. I'm just looking at them. I'm not doing anything.
But as you sort of, like, look back, you actually see Seiryu for, like, a brief second. And the moment you blink, he vanishes. Like, as this kobold state.
I see that these are also blocking communication.
No.
Don't think they've blocked the gods.
It doesn't block the gods. You hear the voice in your head.
Oh,
Rest, and we can converse.
okay.
So,
Before I go to bed, though, can I just take a look at the manacles?
in what way?
Any mechanisms or anything that I can try to finesse.
Give me a perception. Give me an investigation check, actually, because this is very up close.
Okay.
So, from what you can tell, you actually can't find anything. If there's anything, it's probably internal, which is the worst bit, because then you'd have to find a way to get them off. From what you can tell, though, these are very high quality in make. And the material to produce them is probably something very good.
Well, problems for later. I just want to get a sense of like, what's the easiest way to kind of move around? Because it'd probably be best for me to try and get Seamus's and Seamus and Felix's off.
The problem is you're not very skilled in the ways of magic. You're the only one who doesn't have access to actual spells as well. And you've never seen anything like this really before. So, unfortunately, it's not really in your wheelhouse, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I was just more looking like, can I take these
Yeah.
off?
It seems possible, but you don't know how.
I'm gonna spend a few days like just studying it, but
Yeah.
Let's put cart before horses. Let's go to bed and talk to the dragon.
So when you rest, you awaken, and you basically see a sight that very much reminds you of Tennoyama, only it's a bit more... what's the word? Like, it looks like the kind of aesthetic you've seen from Tennoyama, but the scenery's different. Like, you could... The best way to describe it is there's arguably more of it, I guess you could say, in quantity.
Hello, Savio.
Greetings. So, it seems like you've learned quite a bit about the world, and you've also found yourself in an interesting predicament.
Awesome. I'm trying to still puzzle out our next course of action, but
We cannot intervene, unfortunately.
the
amount of energy we could provide to actually break the manacles, well, it would be very difficult to hide, for one, and, well, those suppress quite a lot of energy. So the actual energy to come from you would potentially damage yourselves.
Yeah, I figured we'd be a little bit on our own in that regard, but
It is no trouble, though. Besides, you have someone very close who is helping you anyway.
we have Toranosuke and the turtle, yes.
Yes, indeed. Still, I trust you can succeed. This isn't an impossible task. It is only one that requires a different skill sets from the lot of you.
Well, we'll make do. Any information you have for me?
Such as...
Things that I should know about? Rumblings, a surgence of the Draculid pieces.
Well, that's the only thing I can really tell you, as I am not an information broker. To my knowledge, the one in Black Crane is, of course, still as it is. Nothing's changed there. However, the one in Pahala is a bit odd. A pyramid has formed from the ground around the area where it is. But it
Probably
has
have to go there
been,
next.
it has been unnervingly quiet. Meanwhile, the one at Siltanok is also quiet. Although last I'm aware, a caravan of scale-born people went missing around the area, so
I think we're gonna
the
have to go
big-
to Pahola soon.
perhaps. This is up to you. You could always do Siltanok and then Pahala. You could even just go straight to Black Crane if you wanted.
Yeah, that would be foolish in many ways, but... Do you have any difficulties contacting us?
No, this is no different than what it normally is.
Okay, so at the
The
very
hardest
least...
is when you go into the Dracolich's domains.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we can still remain in contact with you.
Worry not. The only way you could possibly make it struggle for us is if you travelled planes.
And Seamus doesn't quite have the magical capability for that, nor does
Not
Felix.
yet. They have the potential. In fact, even your friend Aldane could do it if he wanted.
Why do I get the feeling I'm going to be left behind?
You won't. Just because you can't cast spells that can rupture the very fabric of reality doesn't mean you can't still kick the shit out of them.
I mean, I've kicked the shit out of Seamus, but...
Still, I mean, look at Akrua. He can't exactly call meteors from the sky, but he doesn't need to when he's that powerful anyway.
Fair enough.
I certainly wouldn't want to fight him.
Nor would I, but... I guess the worry is whether or not we'll be ready for your challenges soon enough.
As it stands, the idea is that when the right thing comes, where you will need our power, then he will call upon you to claim it. As it stands, Guile, or rather Soramu, and he widens his eyes knowingly, does not believe that it is time.
Fair enough.
Most of why I called you is actually regarding Soramu. If you had any questions about it, I can answer.
Am I from there?
Some of your ancestries, at least. Air Genassis originally existed first in there. Any Air Genasi that isn't from Soramu came from there, from their ancestors.
Do I have family?
Probably. Although, to my knowledge, well, Akrua might be the best person to ask this, as he knew your ancestor. But from what Guile has informed us of, and from what I can glean from the vague traces that I felt upon your past, it appears that Tempest originally wanted to come here to find out why Akrua was so horribly strong when they finally met again.
Yeah.
He came from the temple that worshipped the four elements, and he's the only one of them to go to another continent entirely. And he was also the only one apart from the master of there that awakened the full potential of his abilities. I can only infer that she wanted to awaken similar powers, but in the end never felt the need or wants to go back home.
I see.
That being said, you're ultimately a citizen of Tiral.
mean,
what
not that I
little
would
that
ever want to
means to
go
you.
there. I have no reason to go.
I mean, sightseeing at least is a reason.
Curiosity, at the very least.
Either way, I won't tell you to go there just because it is my home. The real problem is actually getting there.
Maybe one day, though.
The means to travel to Saramu, or the other continents, is not possible for you given your current technological abilities. The humans did a good enough job of making sure no one could leave Tiral.
Of course they did.
The only way any of them could actually... you could ever be in contact with Saramu is either teleporting there, having a friend drop you off, or if they came to here. Which is very unlikely. After all, it's been 8 decades since the last attempt was made. Well, more than that, really.
Did you, when you looked upon my past, did you see my parents?
When I mean that I briefly touched upon your past, it is more the genetic memory of a person. In the same way that a fear of heights is something that can be inherited from a parent, I more felt the thing that makes you you, the storm, I guess you could say. This is why I can feel Tempest so much.
I very much like them.
It is more that, well, I can't say if your parents were necessarily a genasi, but at least if you got it from anyone, it was from her. Atavism is, I believe, the phenomenon.
What?
You could.
Well, out of character, what?
It's. Let me see. Atavism, yeah. Basically, it's how and he actually basically says it's like a phenomena in people where basically they can inherit traits directly from a grandparent, for example. Like how, say, you know, a child might have a black grandfather, but, you know, and they are born black, but their parents might not be exactly black. You know.
I see.
It's like that. Like, it can happen in other animals. It's like, you know, an animal might have had an albino grandparent, and they might be albino because of stuff like that. Or weird pigmentation or whatever. You get the point. But yes. And he pretty much explains it to you like that. That yes. Perhaps the urgency within was so strong that it manifested in you. Who knows? Sadly, though, I do not know of your parents. There is a way, though, that you can experience the life of your past self, or at least relatives. Although it is quite taboo. It involves delving into very deep reaches of time manipulation, magic.
Yeah, that's probably not something I'm interested in, but...
I mean, just because it's taboo doesn't mean I care. Go for it if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I was just curious if you had any answers to questions, but...
There are answers out there, but I'm sadly not the one to be able to give you them. The best one would probably be Akrua. Even if he hasn't seen Tempest in ages, he's still probably the best person to know of your history.
Well, good to know that at least we're not totally cut off from you.
You're not cut off at all. In fact, the worst it was when you actually went to Blackrain, funnily enough.
I'm not shocked.
The sheer fog and density of that place is horrifying. It is because of the leader's sheer terrain and region control that he has of the entire country that it is so rainy.
I see.
In fact, if you were to kill him, you probably would bring sunlight back to Black Rain.
Poetic. Well, if there's anything that changes with the other pieces, let me know.
As it stands, I believe the pieces are in possession of your friend, the what's he called? The black one.
Huh?
Kurogane. To my knowledge, he is keeping them very much under lock and key.
Well, thank you, Xavier.
This is no problem. I'm only mostly keeping in touch just to ensure that you're okay. Well, I do not.
Not all day, and then you're not the Byakuya, so.
It's more that, well, I chose my way of life after running away from home and deciding to do what I felt was right. I felt like it is only fair to nurture that same desire within you. Not to become like me, but at least to enjoy the freedom that you possess.
Okay, I like to. I think you know my heart.
Still, until next time, as I
The next we
believe,
meet.
I can sense something approaching.
Okay.
And you wake up, and you actually see a guard outside of your door, and a very familiar green dragonborn. The doors open up, and you see the dragonborn woman walk in, and she just gives you a stern expression. As the door locks behind her.
Do I recognize them?
This seems to be the leader of that gang you saw earlier today.
Can I help you?
This is my cell. And you're the first person in a long time who's been put in here.
I apologize if I took your bunk.
I prefer sleeping on the top bunk anyway. Don't worry about it.
Good.
So,
Insight. I want to get a read on what's their read on me.
okay. She just seemingly doesn't care. It's more like, oh, okay. I share a bunk with someone now.
Nice little outfit you got going.
The gang? We're not taking any more applications, I'm afraid.
Since I wanted to join, just said it was got a nice little thing going.
What would you know? You've only just come in today, haven't you?
Seen my way around.
Seems like you've already made buddies with Toranosuke. I don't know why you would, but go off, I guess.
Didn't immediately find me into pace, so that's always a start.
I mean, you should see the face implant he did in the wall in his room.
Yeah,
I'd
I
be
feel
worried
bad
if
for
your
his roommate.
His roommate's fine. I mean, they can only drink soup, but...
Oh, I meant his current one, but you know.
I fear for whoever's his current roommate. Meanwhile, O'Dane and like Toranosuke like actually getting on chummily. The name's Achuaka, if you ever need to know it.
Regular mystery.
Well then, Rira. I hope you're not a loud sleeper and snorer.
I don't breathe.
Good. On an unrelated note, have you ever been smothered by a pillow before? And if so, how does that happen if you don't need to breathe?
Mostly just stab the person who's trying to smother me.
Good answer.
Speaking of stabbing, know any ways to get shivs?
I know a guy who knows a friend who has a brother. Depends on what you have to trade in return, though. Yeah, genuinely, that seems to be the proper chain of events.
Okay, just making sure. I was like, wait, this seems like a bit.
It just depends on what you have to offer, though. I mean, you were only here for a day. You've only been here for less than a day, so I won't be surprised if you don't have any gear. Although, who knows? Maybe you'll get a visitation and they'll send you a present. Although I don't know
Hopefully
anyone
I'll get
who's
something.
you
I'll get some
out
nice
here.
things. Hopefully we'll get some nice things soon.
Maybe. Depends on how much your mummy and daddy like you.
Yeah, haven't seen them since I was 2 months old.
I mean, last time I saw them, well, they're the reason I'm in this joint.
My parents? Well, good job. I'm impressed. Even I haven't found them.
I mean, I've always known my parents, but they clearly didn't want to know me, or else they wouldn't have sold me off to that Black Rain noble.
Which one?
Which one? They're a group of Eladrin, if I recall. I don't remember.
Do I know Felix's true last name?
I assume Felix would have shared it, right? It's up to It's up to Mill. Mill?
Sorry,
If you're
mic was off.
talking-
Yeah, yeah, Felix would have shared it.
I think it was
Yeah.
the Trevelyan's.
Oh yeah, I ran into that family a little bit.
Oh, have you?
Did some cons with them, yeah.
Not the Trevelyan's. That was Felix's dad's first name. Roundtree is the family. Sorry. Yeah, the Roundtrees.
Mostly to get one over, but yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I never got to meet the Roundtree who was taking me in, which is fine. But yeah, I killed them. Got put in here. Yeah.
Good on you and getting out.
I wouldn't know. I'm too busy beating people up and constantly having my sentence extended.
What would you do if you ever got out of here?
Probably get myself back in. I don't have a place where I can have 4 walls and a bed and food every day.
Would you want to go, I don't know, kill some people in Black Rain?
Not really. I don't really care about Black Rain. Besides, I mean, even if I got out and had a home to go back to, well, probably been repossessed and all that shit, and I just don't care. I've got better things on my plate.
Such as?
Being in here, running a gang, making a name for myself. It's not too bad. I've been in worse prisons before. I was transferred from here all the way from Pahola's prison.
You have a score to settle with Torrent and all them?
Nah, I don't care about Torrent. It was Fortune that put me in here. Well, not put me in here specifically, but like, she didn't like the fact that every time she had to visit to make sure it was like properly funded and everything, I'd always try and kill her.
Yeah, that sounds like Fortune.
It was easier to just swap me around with someone else and they get sent there and I get brought here. It's fine though. It's nicer here anyway, it's not as hot.
Yeah, I'm for both of them. Not a fan
Oh,
of
I'm so
the whole
sorry
lot.
for you.
Yeah, I'm glad I left.
It's a fucking shithole.
Yep.
Ugh, she visibly shivers. Yeah, no wonder you got put in the slammer here. I'd kill myself before I got put in a prison there.
Did. And I got away and now I'm here.
Especially the food. Ugh. Snail?
Escargot.
I'm gonna kill that elf bard one day.
You gonna do what, sorry?
I'm gonna kill an elf bard someday. That'll be fun.
Seamus sneezes in his cell.
But yeah, whatever. Anyway, you know who I am, I know you are. I'm going to sleep. And she just climbs up on the bunk, and yeah.
And I am going to stash my tools on my
Yeah.
person.
No problem at all. And I'm gonna say, that's what we'll call the session today.
Okay.
Cool.
Some new and interesting characters.
Mm-hmm.
Some very fun characters have also made a return.
Mm-hmm.
Including Felix's favorite character.
Also, also this is what Achuaka actually means in Draconic. It means greened, as in the verb.
The green one.
Just to be greened. I love the idea that she greens people, like
Right.
she's greened them, and that's like
She
code for
morbs
her
them.
kid.
She morbs
Makes
them.
them green in color.
She's about a green,
more.
as Morbius will be about a morb.
Get more, motherfucker.
Anyway,
Also, that meme I sent to the chat the other day about Morbin time.
Yes.
For the session, Kaido, I'll catch you guys next time.
just before you
See
go,
you
again, do you want to be part of the do's and don'ts of LGBTQ plus rep podcast?
I'll put you down. I'm kind of enjoying some time.
Again, doesn't want to be cancelled for being anti-LGBTQ, clearly.
I did not catch a word of what Gen said because he was mumbling.
Very tired.
Go rest.
Yeah, just let us know on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, have a good one.
Alright, see ya.
Clear again.
So, that's the end of the stream. Which means the end. I did that the wrong way around. End of the session, end of the stream. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm also quite tired.
I wouldn't have guessed.
In terms of future stuff, honestly, not 100% sure. Something's.
Bless you.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Something's going to be happening Tuesday, probably streamed by Fuzzy, but we'll see if my internet will be able to hold out. Thursday and Saturday will be the Devil Fruit tier list part 2, and as I said, do's and don'ts of LGBTQ plus rep in media. somewhere around, depending on who wants to be involved. And then next Sunday we continue our time in the slammer.
Boy, oh boy.
Otherwise,
Can't wait.
Not a
again,
whole lot got done this time around, but hopefully next time. Prison Riot.
some of it was fucking, what's it called anyway? Like setting the scene, like establishing where you are, what it's like, some of the characters in it. I can't wait for Felix to meet his best mate.
Anyway, again, thank you everybody
Can't
for
wait.
watching.
It's gonna be fun.
Thank you everybody for watching. Please do give us a follow here on Twitch and on Twitter at storytime_net. And otherwise, we hope to see you on Tuesday. Good night.
Later.
Bye-bye.